Malkavians. Now, in a lot of circles, Malkavians are often seen as, what stupid-ass thing is this bitch gonna do? Malkavians are, without a doubt, of the 13 clans, the most difficult to portray well. A large part of the problem that most Malkavian players suck, and you will hear story after story after story. Fortunately, I haven't seen too many of them, but you hear them over and over and over and over again of why they saw Malkavians played terribly. Are White Wolf's fault. Almost all White Wolf's fault. Alright, first of all, they call them kooks. There are numbers of templates in the backs of the clan Malkavian books that have stupid-ass looking shit like the Waking Dreamer. No, I don't want to hear the Waking Dreamer. I don't want to hear Tommy Dreamer. I don't want to hear about any of this foolishness. What I want to see are characters that are so dark, so dreadful, so horrendous that they make the other people that are playing the game look at you and kind of wonder, kind of maybe get a little bit further away from you, maybe go, man, is this guy unhinged? Is there something wrong with him? Man, I'm going to play Malkavian. I'm going to show up to your house the first time I'm playing with you. You're not going to want me to come back. You're going to be fucking scared. You're going to say, well, there's something, this guy has to be something wrong with him for playing something like this, for being this. You get that idea where it kind of comes together. And that is always very, very fun when you actually get a player as a deep immersive style player. I've had many times where people have come out of character and asked me, what's this? It's called role playing, man. You understand, brother? It's called role playing, and you got to get in the role. You got to think about what it is to be a deranged individual. You are a deranged monster. Vampires are monsters. They eat people. Malkavians are the crazy vampires. Malkavians are the vampires that should be locked away in asylums. And not those hokey drawings of the Malkavian in a straitjacket. No. There's no one to put him in a straitjacket. The thing about Malkavians, you have to remember, when you are trying to create, build, and roleplay a Malkavian, they're not like, I'm the Joker and Harley Quinn. Don't make that shit. I've seen it over and over and over again. That's terrible. Don't make that shit. You're not that. That's not what they are. It's not what mental illness is. Mental illness is sad and tragic and terrifying and dark. And the fact is, vampires have the potential to never die. So you are eternally trapped in this mental anguish, in this torment, in this degenerative degradation. Because mental illness is a party. And once you have one, more and more want to show up crashing through the door. When you look at playing someone that's deeply bipolar or schizophrenic or completely in a fantasy world, they may seem like they can function completely well. You may be able to function completely well. In fact, if you're running a vampire game, I strongly suggest think about making the prince of your city a Malkavian. Have the first 20 times the players see him. Have him look like almost like he's just a venture, a ruthless, strong tyrant. But there's something very, very off about it. Perhaps he thinks somebody else is there who's talking to him occasionally. Maybe someone he doesn't like. Maybe someone he's killed. Maybe his wife in his mortal days we beat to death. Maybe he thinks she's back to plague him, to torment him, to make him crazy, to make him act a fool in front of everyone. No, I don't want to do this, he says to her. But she pushes him over the line again and again. Same reason she got buried under the house. So, when you get into those sort of dark things, the thoughts, you don't want to go, hey, I'm a happy Malkavian and I hang out with the fairies. You don't deserve to play World of Darkness if you're doing foolishness like that. What you want to put together to astound the people you're playing with, to terrify them, to say, wow, this is an individual that can role play with anyone we've met, is to bring that Malkavian to a point where they are seeing mental illness, not comical. Do not play a Malkavian comically. They are not comic relief characters. They are sad characters. They are not the happy maskman. They are tragedy. It is horrible to be mentally insane and immortal. It's terrible. And you have to get that across through your character. Now, don't beat it over the head, though. Don't beat it over the head. Subtlety. Malkavians, to portray them, to portray any character that is deranged, you must play it subtle. Less is more. It always is. It spotlights, it showcases that one time, that one place when you did something. Oh, all of a sudden everyone at the table pulls back and they go, oh, he is crazy. Ooh. How do we deal with this? Well, we all know Malkavians are crazy, and now he has showed us how crazy is the depths of his depravity, or probably not. Probably just that first inch into a well that goes on and on and on. And that is really what you want to bring back from that cracked, reflective, broken mirror. You got to kind of sift through Malkavians. They were one of the seam-filled jobs in Writing. Well, first of all, you don't even have demutation till the later editions. The excuse they gave for it, I'm not even going to get into it. It was fucking horrible. I would have just, instead of that, just print demutation next time. And if you say anything, hey, look, man, we didn't create demutation until now. We didn't create demutation until the Sabat book, so they couldn't have it before. Of course, Dominate didn't make any sense for them. Of course, demutation made all the sense for them. It's an excellent discipline. I want to put my craziness out on you, and it's wonderful. I love to sell from Malkavian and sell, and I don't go, sell that shit. When they start demutating you, that is horrible. Banner snatches appearing around your eyes, the depths of gothic depravity that can be squeezed out of that scene. Oh, it's terrifying. Now, Malkavians can also be wise shamans. They're crazy. They're insane. They see things. They have aspects. They have obfuscate. They may, follow you around. Remember, crazy does not mean an inability to function. Malkavians are highly able to function, and perhaps even more so. There's plenty of sorts of insanities that can make someone extremely well functioning. Obsessive compulsive disorders, different sorts of personalities. One that may lull you into a false sense of security, the other that might take a stake and drive it through your back when you turn around, depending on what sort of individual you have there. Now, there's a number of shows that I would suggest for someone that wants to portray Malkavian and kind of study the characters. There's one, it was on FX a few years ago. It only lasted 2 seasons because they had a star that was too big for FX. They had Courtney Cox in the show. It's called Dirt, and her photographer is a schizophrenic, and it is, I thought, a really interesting way they portray this character. I think it was Dawn, I don't know, but watch those 2 seasons of Dirt. It was a very good show. But you're really going to get great experience of a way to play a schizophrenic. It's not glamorous. It's definitely not funny. Mental illness is not funny. And I'm saying to be creepy and this and that. And people go, oh man, that might be too much. No, it's not. Playing mental illness like it's something comical, in my estimation, is a billion times more offensive than sitting there and trying to really play a mental derangement, because you're really playing a person with a mental derangement. If you choose to play something that has a mental derangement, play the mental derangement. Don't be funny. Don't be silly. Don't ever fucking be cute. You are not rabbit slippers. We're not rabbit slippers. If you want to put it in a vampire context, and these things in the White Wolf, World of Darkness setting, are not vampires. But every single one of your slashers, Malkavian. If we're putting them to vampires, they're actually gorehounds, but that's a whole different deal. If you're looking at Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, all these guys, Malkavians. Malkavians have a tendency to be horrendous villains. They have aspects. They can see you coming. They can hear your mind. They know what you're thinking. They can get into your dreams. They have obfuscate. You can't find them, but they can find you, and they can look like anyone else. They have imitation. They can slowly start crafting and making you crazy. And the fact of running this Malkavian who's out to maybe get the players, maybe just one of them. There's a reason, after all. Who knows what it is? But it'll make perfect sense to the Malkavian, and you can drop that bread trail of crumbs. And all of a sudden, when you paint him really, really dark, when he has gone through and done things that are vastly disturbing by vampire standards, and you describe him in graphic, vivid, dark detail. Well, those players are never going to look at Malkavians as things that wander around in the light, giggling, making terrible movie references, wearing bunny slippers, blowing bubbles, or whatever other kind of trash you've seen people put them over. Now, my main man, Hammered, it said that he's scared to play Malkavian. He's scared to try to take the role, and he's scared to try to get with the idea of the Malkavian. Now, I haven't played with him, but he strikes me as being quite a competent role player. And I told him, you could take that on, you could try it. And here are ideas, thoughts to get you thinking how to play a Malkavian. How do you get a Malkavian over? How do you get him over? Make crazy real. Not funny, not slapstick, not zany. It doesn't say you're funny, slapstick, or zany. It says you're fucking crazy and you're a predator. Put those things together. Make yourself dark. Make yourself horrible, horrifying. Make a predator that is insane yet highly, highly functioning. Look at the clan disciplines. Boy, if you use them right, those disciplines are going to lead to making one horrifying character. You can talk to people in their mind. Then, while you're not there, and you can use other things as imitation to drive them insane. Slowly, always savoring, always feeling what they're feeling, knowing what it's like to be sane, and the fact that they don't get to be sane anymore. Or maybe you're kind, and you're just simply showing them the way. Yes, this is all making sense now. Remember, if there's one vampire clan that was going to really follow into the role of the truly dark, the truly bizarre, some Malkavians. They have a worldview and a perspective that has been shattered. It's like taking that pane of glass and smashing it against the ground, and looking back and seeing 1,000 of them, and looking back into another shattered pane of glass on the other side of you and seeing thousands and thousands and thousands of possible perspectives, of possible ideas, and to put those over and keep bringing them over and over and over again. There's also some other good shows. One on, I think it's Showtime right now, Homeland, where Claire Danes plays a psychotic. She does an excellent job portraying this character, playing the manic aspects of her psychosis. It's really an amazing idea to look at that show. Another one that has Kelsey Grammer in it, called Boss. Now, he's not actually insane. I forget what the condition is. It's something vaguely similar to Alzheimer's. And he's losing his mind. He's having hallucinations. He's being confused. And that's wonderful. He is, in fact, probably the only thing you need to do is throw fangs on him. And this would be a vampire show. It's called Boss. It's just finished. 8 episodes. Wonderful show. It takes place in Chicago. He plays the mayor of Chicago. All his inner sanctums, his cronies, his darkness, his depravity. It's absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fodder for a World of Darkness game. After all, Chicago is the world headquarters of the World of Darkness games, isn't it? I don't mean physically, but I mean in terms of Chicago, the setting. That is their bread and butter place. Plays the mayor of Chicago. And we see that everything, exactly, pretty much how a prince of the city would run it. Think of it, very much Venturesque, but with all this other stuff he has on him, he's basically falls into being delusional, sort of crazy. But he knows it, so he's putting out ways to kind of compensate and fight against that. But he still might, all of a sudden, in the middle of that really important meeting, just kind of start saying things that are like, what's this guy going on? Or he might just flip out and end you. And that could be a jack to you. So I would strongly suggest that sort of fodder. Look at literature. Look at television shows and movies where someone actually does not an insulting, but a dark, realistic job of playing someone that's insane, and go, ooh, okay, this is what I need to get across. This is the bar that I need to get over. I want to come out better than that. I want to bring it more intense. I want to bring those feelings of, ooh, this is something that everybody at the table is really going to have to look at and go, wow, this is shocking. And that's how you want to do it. But you don't want to over the top. Remember, do not over the top. It's not shock over the top. It's shock in that slow, insidious sort of way. And at the same time, even though the Malkavian is the victimizer. He is also the victim. And if you can get that juxtaposition going, if you can get that play, you can play a character that elicits pity and horror simultaneously. And that is a winner.